Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner.
It's all misspelled.
Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother, Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget
You
about
instantly
the dinner.
already think he's guilty.
Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Mara.
Okay.
But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
Yeah. Let's do victim.
Who were the victims?
The 2 men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
Okay.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were 2 other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who is over at the far side of the street.
Okay.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
Okay.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the 2 victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the 2 dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by 2 police constables.
So it's all circumstantial.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
So probably planned.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
Dude, I feel that. When I woke up today, I was like, what day of the week is it on?
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
The shooting was planned to be under the cover of the fireworks, so no one could hear the gunshot.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
When you work a lot or when you don't have work? Yeah. Yeah.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant.
Yeah, I've also turned into a calendar person. I never used calendars before, but I've just had so much stuff on my plate recently that I have to use calendars and have to plan
The
stuff
bullet
out ahead of time.
penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vicotti must have done some time there. Brian Vicotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
Okay, and then we gotta do this body.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
Can I click it, please?
A piece of wood that has stuck between
Thank
the
you.
cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new.
I have a feeling that since he was shot in the head, he was probably killed first, since it was unexpected. And then the other guy, since he was like kind of farther away, maybe he was trying to escape or something, and then he got him in the stomach
This is an
in
ordinary
the hustle
key.
and tussle.
I wonder what kind of door it opens.
I don't know if that's relevant. That's just my opinion. They came in from the way where Watson's standing. So they probably got here. He got shot in the head. So he tried to go back to escape and then got shot in the tummy. And this... Okay, so that's the guy who lives in the flat. One of the witnesses.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent.
I see.
Might we hear your story?
Let's profile first. Why didn't we have to profile the cop? I guess because the cop's not one of the potential, whatever it's called, suspects. I said. Poor life, war veteran, and limping. So he knows how to use a gun.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Okay.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the two shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
Two different
That
guns.
is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
I see. Now we need to talk to the flower shop lady. Hi, lady.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime.
Yeah,
that took
the one
place
with
this
Robert
evening.
Downey Jr.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Those are good. They are pretty good.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes.
Why
I
don't we
was
get to
selling the
profile
flowers
her?
as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Right, so now we need to go to the Scotland Yard to interrogate the brother who we presume is innocent because we're trying to help this little boy who has helped us in other cases. He's helped us like in multiple cases throughout this whole game.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room.
That doesn't mean that's the
suspect
gun that
himself
killed
is
them.
in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
I believe there's like at least 2 different guns. Because there was 2 different gunshots that had 2 different volumes.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, tell me. The deep scar, occasional fights, grew up on the street. Oh, we knew that. Recent beating. Hothead. Someone by the name of Dees, last name Nuts. Past imprisonment. So he knew one of the victims. They both have the same tattoo from the same prison.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work, and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head, and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead, and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
Mm-hmm.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
So the gun that he took was the being held by the guy who got shot in the head. So maybe that guy shot the other guy in the stomach, and then that third guy shot him. Because like we established, there's most definitely two different guns.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I
Flashbang?
kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Probably not.
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Prisoners.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
The tattoos, duh.
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Of course I'm right.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
I don't know. I want to believe that he's innocent. Nothing so far has suggested otherwise, so.
A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt. These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting. So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder. Two out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
Yeah, but they were different. They were different. One was louder. Okay. Cutscene.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Could be. The fireworks could have reflected off the mirror. Like an accidental flashbang, or if someone placed the mirror there on purpose.
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
Object of
A
interest?
fairly long pole.
Okay. Well, I guess let's do this. Turner stated that he remained at the window of his flat until police arrived. However, this is in conflict with Marrow's statement, as the constable did not see anyone at the window. Personal motive. The violent crime committed in Half Moon Street by could have had a personal motive. I don't think so. Compelling evidence. The witness testimonies and the crime weapon clearly point to one possible culprit. Don't think so. Kenneth Butler and Brian body were the... Oh, I wanted to read that. The person whom Chapman describes in his statements is a figment of his own imagination created to vindicate him. Demonology. Simultaneous shots. Turner could hear the contrast between the 2 fired shots, as in fact 3 shots were made. The first, a single shot was fired, but then 2 guns fired simultaneously directly afterward. That makes way more sense than 2 different guns. So we have some experiments to conduct. Okay, there's new dialogue first. Some evidence can be used in the investigation and will be marked with specific icons. F? Oh, we have to use our imagination. So he could have fired at the stomach and then fired up there. But he could have fired... I mean, they both could have done it. I think he had more dialogue. I can try to check the walls. I don't know if I don't think I can because they're so high up and it's so dark.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Turner's contradiction.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
He did say that the second gunshot sounded louder.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
So it could have been the other guy who shot at the wall near the window that he was sitting in. Right, I guess...
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
Sharp!
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
Right, looking out the window. My bad.
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse.
Nice.
The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
Yeah, but Leighton could have been like wrong place, wrong time type of thing. Circumstantial. I will admit it's not looking good, but...
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
Fire. Ashes. Right? Burnt paper. Oh! Burnt paper!
The papers are almost entirely burned.
What's
I'm
he trying
unable
to
see what's
hide?
written here.
Huh?
These words are illegible.
A little
The
suspicious.
papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
I don't know. I don't...
The books on this shelf are in a mess.
Being a
It
little
looks as though
sussy
Mr.
baka.
Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
Oh, the tip of his cane was found by the body.
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick
I hope you have
when
an
it
amazing
became stuck
stream,
between the
Mike.
cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
Nini, thank you for the sub. Thank you. We're doing our best, fighting crime.
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
We get to walk all the way out? Look at us go. Oh, we can look at the
I am
wall.
unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
The pole, that's what the pole is for. How are the crimes? We're doing it. We're on our last crime.
This should be useful.
Oh,
Nothing interesting here.
so now it's the other one. Oh, so I was right the first time. So, examine wall. Oh,
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
okay, we're doing it. Took me a minute. Got it. What else do we have? They both died of crossfire, with each of them holding a gun. One of the guns is now missing. Or it was a double murder. It could have been crossfire. Well, we don't have enough fire position. Turner could hear the contrast because they were made from different points. So that would lead to double murder. Well, we still have the conflicting statements that we need to discuss through. Do I like true crime? Like, I've seen some documentaries on some stuff, but it's not my, like, thing of choice. Talk to Mr. Turner and check the view from his flat. We did that. I guess I'm... Oh, how did you turn around? I guess I missed something up there, so let's go back. Oh! That's what we were supposed to do. He got up from bed. And then he opened the window? He got up from his bed, he opened the window. And then I think he approached the body. It says he approached and took something. I'm trying to click on it! He approached the body. And then he probably, placed the broken stick and then grabbed something, cut papers with a knife, and then threw it into the fire. Look at him go! Okay. And we can fast forward it a little easier. Okay. And he grabs something. He goes back upstairs. Or he sees who the victim is. He does that, puts it back. He walks over, he cuts some papers, and he throws them all into the fire.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Booky book. Did it say Fat Prince?
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
The Fat Prince for me.
Well now, what a find. A precious jewel concealed inside a book.
Oh, ram's
a
head.
bracelet with a unique ram's head design. A distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
Right. So I guess we talk to him and be like, hey, you're a freaking liar.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, do it.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner.
Prove it.
I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Oh, time can pull tricks on you.
Tell
And
us
what of
the
everything
truth.
else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Yeah. No.
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground. This precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
There it is. Just throw him in jail. Investigate the bracelet. So it looks like we need to go back to Baker Street. Beep, beep, pop, pop. Antique bracelet. It was found. It is decorated with distinctive.
That is...
These beautiful antique jewels represent a part of the Hellenistic treasures collection. Depicted are 5 heads of mountain rams upon a bracelet, a necklace, and ring, each made of pure gold. The 5 rams of Metylene have been missing from the museum since 1885. They've been missing for 10 years?
My research in my archives.
What do you mean continue the research in your archives? That's what we are here. We are here. So it'd be the treasures stolen. The Hellenistic treasures were stolen yesterday evening while being transported by cab on their way from the British Museum to the Glassford Fine Art exhibition. Pawnshop owner Kenneth Butler contacted Scotland Yard that night and provided information regarding a gentleman who had attempted to sell him a collection of historical art at his pawnshop in Church Street. So one of the victims is Kenneth Butler, okay? The police have since captured the descripted man, a professional thief by the name of Vincent Foley, who had been in the process of escaping London via the port. He was recognized by the surviving diver of the cab that had transported the collection of Hellenistic treasures. Vincent Foley refused to confess as to where the remainder of the treasures were hidden. He was eventually imprisoned and lost the treasure. The lost treasure is still to be found. I would make fun of you, but I don't know how to pronounce it either.
Here it is.
Yeah.
One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
Which is we have the key for. But you know, we're expanding our mind. Hopefully. Ooh, a bar.
Mr. Butler's key matches the lock perfectly.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer.
Object of interest?
A flare pistol. Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor.
Another object of interest? So there's the ram's necklace.
The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the 5 Rams of Mittelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
Hello, Kenneth. I remember you once told me about 3 pieces of golden jewelry with ram's heads from ancient Greece. You still got them, right? Well, good news for you. I found a man loaded with money who's crazy about those jewels. He's ready to fork out a small fortune. I can arrange a meeting with his money bag for you, but I want you to cut me in on the deal. I'll be waiting for you at the crossing of Great Ale and Half Moon Street on Sunday evening. Okay, so this is the other victim, this Brian guy. So they planned the meetup for the exchange to sell the Rams collection.
It looks as though Mr. Butler kept a careful record of his operations.
But the necklace is in the drawer. So, Mr. Butler here, it seems as though he was trying to skimp out on the deal. And that's probably when things went awry. And then Brian had the bracelet on his person. But the fact is, the ring is still missing. There's supposed to be three parts to the collection. Yeah, I think the motive is robbery. But we still don't know who did it. We just know why it was done. So we need to do something with that. Talk to Constable Morrow. We have to go back to Half Moon Street. Bada beep, bada boop.
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Oh, no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
Okay.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood.
Oh, we're the guy. Well, first, I would probably say this corner. Okay, so is this corner? Because I remember being like, huh, that's a super dark corner, and that's weird that there's like an indent in the wall.
I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Oh.
Here you are, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
I think he just keeps going until I can't find him. We're just doing hide and seek.
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
It is obvious now. No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
So they weren't hiding in the street then. Could have gone inside there. If we can assume that if there is one more person in Half Moon Street at the set time of the crime, then there is no way forward or back for his escape, only up. Let us reenact the action, recreate the fireworks described by Layton, and attempt to climb the wall. Find the flare gun and climbing equipment. You mean... I was confused why they were objects of interest. Now I understand.
Wiggins, my lad, what are you doing here? You'd best be leaving and be quick about it.
I've done nothing wrong. You'd learn more by watching Mr. Holmes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not like you.
Oi, watch your tongue.
Why doesn't...
Constable
Doesn't
Marrow,
matter.
Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I am going to be the mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can.
A little ominous. I would say this.
The moon illuminates this wall. Anyone trying to climb it would be easily spotted by Constable Marrow. This wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone scaling it.
I picked this one because the roof was shorter, but I guess it was like shown in the moon. I'm working on it.
I can barely see anything.
God, he's slow.
Holmes? Are you there?
And then no one would hear the pick going into the wall because of the
My
fireworks.
God, a man can't just disappear like that.
Eee.
Holmes? Holmes? Where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down.
This is the back door of the building with the attic floor that you required, Mr.
Right, I see. Now it's on. Oh. Ta-da!
Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic.
And there's
but
the
in his
jacket.
haste, he ripped his jacket.
Jacket. Uh-huh. Shabby fabric. Uh-huh. Black thread. Uh-huh.
A cluster of thick black threads. They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope. These shards of glass are from the window above. We can conclude that the person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch.
Shabby fabric, does that mean he's poor? I mean, he could just be wearing it as a disguise as well, even if he's not. Right, we need to go back to Baker Street, and we need to look at the thing under the microscope.
Let us take a closer look. It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human. I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
Watson, look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything. Ouch! Holmes!
Oh, don't make such a fuss. One little hair. The horsehair is thinner than the hair that we found. Human hair is significantly thinner than the black sample. So, this black hair belongs to an animal, and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal.
A bear? Green. Circus acrobat. The man who vanished from the crime scene of Half Moon Street could be a circus acrobat. He managed to scale a 30-foot high wall in a matter of seconds. Hair from a large exotic animal was found on his discarded jacket. I mean...
My analysis table. It is useful.
Right, we did that already. So I guess we should go back to the yard? Sir!
Mr. Holmes,
Doesn't matter. He doesn't.
Tell all.
Doesn't matter. Blah, 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 blah. Go back to Half Moon Street.
Look here, lad. You'd better go home and start thinking about what a fine pickle your brother's landed himself in.
Ha! But he'll be free tonight, 'cause he's innocent.
Don't be daft, lad. It's a closed case.
But it's not. It's not.
It would be my pleasure.
It's not a close case.
Mr. Constable, why did you become a constable?
Why? Because I wanted to serve Her Majesty, that's why.
And what about serving the people like us?
What? Your sort are the plague of London. Be quiet now.
Am I just supposed to keep leaving and coming back to find all these different cutscenes? Yep.
Two lovely black eyes. Oh, what a surprise. Only for telling a man he was wrong. Two lovely black eyes.
Oh, I've just about had enough of this. Shut up.
I can't tell if these cutscenes are important or if it's just for, like, flavor text. The person who was seen only by Leighton Chapman escaped the crime scene by climbing the wall.
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far. We found facts and details that confirm your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London. It needs to have disposed of at least one exotic animal, a very large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
Go, Wiggins, go! Go, Wiggins, go! The next morning, very early.
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble, Holmes.
Don't worry, Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
7.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
An elephant hair?
And this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show. Duval Brothers, a well-known traveling circus that is currently stopped in London. I believe that is exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
I like how it doesn't give you the option to not visit it. It's like the only place on the map.
Aye, you. Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
Hmm? You're wanting to apply for... Nah. You don't look like the type of, artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
You might be surprised.
Now we have to
What? Nah. I don't
prove
think
that we
so.
can pick locks.
Clear off.
Now we have to go home and disguise ourselves to go pick locks at the circuits. Alright. Black, brown, green, gray, light, bandit. I guess bandit. And then makeup table. For fun. Yeah, that one. Like, yeah, I picked locks. Yeah, I like this. Okay. We're ready.
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Thank God, Holmes. I can't get used to your disguises.
Thank you, Watson. That means I am ready to go.
We will infiltrate the circuits.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see. Go inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles Foley. And I'd highly advise you not to trick him. Got that?
I've got it.
Now we can do whatever we want. Na, 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 na. It said explore the circus. Do I have to go in and talk to the dude right now? Is there anything else I could click on? I guess I do have to go and take the lock picking test.
So, everything is here, just as you asked. And what about the money? Some of the barrels are wet. Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first. No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right? I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight, then.
Interesting. What are these barrels?
This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside.
Why can't you look in the crack to see what's
There is a
inside?
spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out. The crest of the Honourable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure.
Why couldn't we do that in the first place?
Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is, in fact, gunpowder. The barrels are roughly clustered. It seems as though they were brought here in a hurry. That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting. From lambs into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people. This printing press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day. There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls. Powder kegs, a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the Merry Men quite recently, and these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence. The Merry Men are planning some sort of sabotage.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on the table over there. Open that.
Open that. Right. Keep. Protected safe. Bloody bandages. Recent trauma. Okay. His veins look like mine. Armed. Cutthroat. Okay. There's the ring with the ram head. Awesome. Acrobat. Okay. I was wondering where the ring was. I guess I gotta go pick a lock. Something.
I need to find out what's behind this Charles Foley.
Okay, but I did the lock thing like he wanted. So can't I be like, hey, bro, I did it?
I need to find
Or the revolver. Man in jacket, Charles Foley wears an antique ring. The last missing piece from the 5 rands. Jewel set, and also a revolver retained under his belt. This proves that Charles Foley is our mysterious jacketed man who nimbly escaped the crime scene. Okay, that didn't really do anything. Really? That's what I had to do? Dumb.
Well, they're right. What's your name?
Dumb game.
Nigel Shirley from York.
Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
Would be our answer?
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for me craft.
Well, he died 7 days ago in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. The traitor has paid the blood price for it. And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Gosh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you better mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
We do know
Wait for us at
about
the
it.
abandoned manor house on the corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal.
All right. Yep.
Here I am at the manor. Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic treasures.
I thought we have them. We have the bracelet, he has the ring, and then we took the necklace.
This lock is quite old. It shouldn't be much of a challenge.
Damn. This... It's a tough life picking locks. Ta-da!
I need to find where the safe is hidden and lockpick it.
We get to abandon, or we get to search this abandoned house. It's probably upstairs. Just wanted to look around anyway. Never know. Oh, I see. We're on the hunt for a hidden Well, I guess I passed it in the first
This
place.
cupboard is an absolute mess.
That's it. Oh,
Several books have fallen from the shelves. It seems as though this cupboard can be moved. I'll give it a try.
move it. That's a big safe!
So, that's the lock I must open tonight. Let me see.
Why can't I just open it now? Oh, this is like the most complicated one we've had so far. Okay. Man, I'm getting good at this.
What a surprise. Another lock. And I won't be able to pick
Two
it.
locks?
I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out.
This could only go
Let us
exceptionally
check the
well.
thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door. This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
So we need to lock the kitchen door then.
This door leads to a kitchen, which holds the shortest route to the back door.
Exactly. No lock. No lock can stop me. Item required. Okay, so we need to get an item, but we're supposed to lock the kitchen door.
A solid rope.
I'll take it. No? I'll take that.
This should be useful.
I just took the whole chair. Just the whole chair. I have placed the whole chair in my pocket. As one does. A normal thing that people do. Just the whole chair in my pocket.
The
See,
door
there it
is now
is.
blocked.
For easy travel, you know.
The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police.
So we need to block that.
This works very well. No one will escape through this window now.
Okay. Do-do-do. I guess upstairs? I mean, they're pretty freaking trapped.
Although this window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape.
Right. Oh, look, a table.
This should be useful.
Oh! Oh, I didn't even think of that. We're putting a booby trap. So
One
they
step
trip
these
on the beads.
and our thief will go flying. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
Wow.
Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly.
I don't think there's anything else for me to booby trap, is there?
The thieves won't attempt to escape through the front door if the police are right behind it.
I know, but like, look, that's board. This is all boarded up. Well, I guess we can see what we can do with this chandelier.
I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the floor. It looks as though it was poorly attached.
An item is required for the chandelier.
I wonder what...
Okay. What are we doing with the chandelier? Hold on, one of them ran out. Okay, so he still got out. He just had to go the long way. We take the rope now?
This should be useful.
Why didn't it let me take the rope before when I first found it?
There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out.
Right. I thought I was gonna glitch the game. I'm so glad he was able to hop over it. I was gonna be so upset if I was trapped.
Now, if anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall. If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down.
Man, this is like Home Alone type. Are we done? I guess we have to put the bookshelf back. Or not.
What a surprise.
You would think, like, move the book. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. What was that? What was that? Huh? Carpet? Carpet?
This should be useful.
More booby traps? What the hell is he planning? Oh, we're supposed to put the carpet over the hatch.
Now, it's not an open hatch, just a nice carpet on the floor. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
Right, can I leave? Is there still more? There's still more?
Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit to the cellar. The traps for my circus companions
Oh, thank God.
are all prepared. I can leave now, but I'll return later with Charles Foley and his companions.
Police! Police!
Okay.
Stop where you are.
That just
Where are
Watson.
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
Oh, you sounded just like a real Bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How'd you know about that?
Well, he just admitted it.
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
He just admitted it.
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men.
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers.
I mean, we are technically detective Sherlock Holmes. What the f we want?
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
Oh. What is that?
Don't move, you...
What a beautiful collection of art. It was thought lost.
Okay, so what clues do we have now? Foley's vengeance. Charles Foley organized for the theft of the Hellenistic treasures, which was related to the double murder at Half Moon Street. Leighton Chapman was a witness to the crime. He will be imprisoned for organizing a theft. Since he is not directly guilty of murder, his sentence will be shortened. He organized and executed a wicked plan of revenge. With the added theft of ancient and valuable treasures, he deserves the rope. What did I put? Yeah, they literally killed each other, and then Foley just went and just stole the item. But I don't think it's right to necessarily condemn him based off like what he may or may not do in the future, because you don't know what he's gonna do. I don't want to be like, okay, you deserve the rope for stealing something and you might commit more crimes in the future. So I would say maybe the grand theft. So he still gets a sentence. It's just shorter because he didn't actually murder anyone, which is true, he didn't.
Charles Foley, you were a witness to a double murder. You were standing next to Vercotti when Butler fired at your accomplice. The jeweler missed him, but they proceeded to kill each other with simultaneous shots. Even if your intention was to retrieve the stolen treasure, you did not intend to kill. I shall inform Inspector Lestrade of that fact, so your sentence should be the lighter.
You are a fine gentleman, with your fake pity.
I do what I think is right. It is never due to pity. Farewell, Foley. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
We have to go free. We have to go free the guy. We can't let him sit in jail. Now that we found what really happened. No, we're back at the circus?
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
Oh.
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No lives shall be lost, but ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone.
I don't think they would
They will be able to work
come
for
to that
themselves,
conclusion.
together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people? Sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
Throw a cigarette. Oh! Oh, it's letting me pick! If I blow them up, or if I throw it in the water and let them go. Honestly?
When people fight the Order, they are too blind to see the consequences that throw society into chaos. I shall stop your actions, but not you. Run. Now!
That's not what I was expecting from that outcome. Maybe I misunderstood the choices?
So, you're interested in Russian literature now.
How did we live?
Quite
How did we...
lately.
Oh, okay.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men.
And the Empire needs order and discipline. It has no room for chaos.
People who commit crimes, or at the very least intend them, deserve punishment, Sherlock. Without justice, there can be no civilization.
But we serve the truth, not justice.
Your truth, Doctor, that may prove immoral. Allowing people to terrorize London, destabilizing the whole empire.
Terrorize only the powers whom you serve, Mycroft. Not I, not Watson, not Mrs. Hudson, not Wiggins.
Sherlock, the merry men are to be stopped.
Not by me. You created the merry men. Stop them yourself. Only make sure that you don't create 10 more merry men by arresting the one.
Good night, Dr. Watson.
Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbor. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
A lady. No doubt Charles Foley will be imprisoned. He organized this theft of ancient treasures that rightfully belonged to the British Museum. In fact, his band was hired by the Merry Men, who planned a revolution in London. But he did not directly commit the murder at Half Moon Street. You have decided that under such circumstances, his sentence should be shortened. I did. Let's see. 97% of people solved the same way that you did. But only 17% of people made the same moral choice. So everyone just was wow. Wow, brutal.